Good morning, televiewers, and it is our pleasure having you again in this edition of the news here at the DBS television with me, Mahngeh Vernasius Fola. The new divisional officer for Douala 4 subdivision has been installed. Ekwa Marie-Jean Barga has the task, among other things, to ensure the peaceful cohabitation of his people and to fight urban disorder. The installation was presided at by the senior divisional officer for Vuri Division, Mahngeh Bertrand Joseph. Mituke Falan sat through the installation and brought back the following report.
Outgoing Bakoma Zacchaeus Elango transferred in the same capacity in the Douala 5. Incoming Ekwa Mbarugaja from the Douala 1. The installation was done in the presence of the senior divisional officer for Vuri Division, Joseph Mahngeh Bertrand, that equally witnessed the attendance of traditional rulers and other top administrators of the division. Prevalent in his new area of command, Douala 4 are high banditry, urban disorder, disagreement among the local population are some of the issues the new chieftain of this municipality has to fight.
I take the advantage of the commissioning of the new of Douala 4 to give him firm recommendation to enhance the living together that should take place definitely in this subdivision. He has to fight against urban disorder, who is rampant in this administrative unit. He has to fight against high banditry that is rampant in this administrative unit. But to attain such goals, he needs the collaboration of each and everyone.
Upon handing over bouquets of flowers and other significant gifts to the outgoing, it was time to welcome Ekwa Mbarugaja, the incoming. He was handed a scepter and a broom by his brothers from the central region. A significance of taking over office. The two later moved to the office where the handing over was finally done with signing of papers and keys given to the senior divisional officer, which was later handed to the new DO.
In political news, 3 political parties, Mahngeh, Progressives and Pan-Africanist Front and Citizen Movement, have made public their stand in relation to the current Anglophone crisis. This was during a brief press conference that was organized yesterday here in Douala. Philip Sote reports.
3 political parties putting on the same thinking cap concerning the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. To them, it is a volcano that has accumulated, is continuously accumulating, and need to be diffused. They blame it all on the betrayal of the patriotic project of reunification by Amadou Ahidjo, John Gu Foncha, S.T. Mona and others, while the current CPDM-led regime has perpetrated what they term the anti-patriotic policies. Mahngeh, the Progressives and Pan-Africanist Front, and the Citizen Movement states that the Anglophone crisis emanates from a deviation from the route charted by Cameroonian patriots and the UPC. They, however, affirm their unconditional attachment to a Cameroon united and indivisible, and go further to accuse the CPDM regime for having fragilized and continue to fragilize the roots of a new Cameroon through sectarian politics and overzealousness. As a permanent way out to what is almost becoming an impasse, the 3 groupings are advocating a national inclusive dialogue that they say is the wish of the political and social classes in the country.
Stay committed to the ideologies of your party and keep being vigilant ahead of next year's election. This was the call made to CPDM militants of Bambutu Center by members of that party's central committee during a conference that was organized over the weekend at Babaju. Jalo Buba reports.
Enlightening militants of the ruling CPDM political party on the new dynamism of the party was at the center of a conference organized at Babaju in the Bambutos division of the West Region recently. Members of the Central Committee of the party, headed by Minister Emmanuel Nganu Njumisi, says that continued discussions with the grassroots militants is very important at this point in time to better prepare them ahead of next year's elections. They were urged to remain vigilant and keep to the ideal of the party to follow instructions handed down from the hierarchy. Some worries, such as developing farms to market routes in some localities and the putting in place a bilingual technical college to serve the villages sharing boundary with the Northwest region. The mayor of Babaju, on his part, echoed on the importance of living in peace.
The court case pitting the Catholic Church and the supposed consortium of parents has been dropped. Jalobuba in the following report tells us that the decision came from the Bamenda Court of First Instance. His report.
The Bamenda Court of First Instance has discontinued hearing of the case brought before it by the Consortium of Parents and Peoples as plaintiff and archbishops of the Catholic Church in Bamenda and Kumbo and leaders of the CBC Church as defendants. That decision was arrived at Monday, September 25, 2017, at the court premises in Bamenda. The case, it should be recalled, has suffered few adjournments. It's been described by some legal minds as void of any seriousness.
We came ready to raise so many issues which we were convinced and we remain convinced that the matter would have been thrown out. It's a storm in a teacup. I think at this particular moment in the history of this country and it's what we are all living through, this was throwing more petrol into fire that was already going off. There is time for us to sit down and dialogue. You can see the crowds that are following the leaders.
The case, it should be noted, is as a result of the ongoing Anglophone crisis caressing the Northwest and Southwest regions. The matter appears to be far from being over as far as the defense lawyers are concerned. What is the new twist the matter is going to take is a wait-and-see issue, but what is clear is that the church leaders can now go to bed with both eyes closed.
After the recent incident that happened around the oil-fueled tankers of SDP recently here in Douala, security around the area has been tightened, with vendors asked to vacate to new locations. Thus, they say it is for their own security. The decision came from the Littoral Regional Governor, Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dibois. Student journalist Raimatusi tells us more.
The incident that occurred at the Cameroon National Petroleum Depot, SCDP, at Bopi neighborhood on Monday, 22nd September 2017, has called for more vigilance and security around this area. The governor of Littoral Region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dibois, ordered the vendors to leave the premises for their security purpose.
It is because of the explosion that happened here that they ask us to go. And I think the governor is right, because if not of God, this thing would kill people.
The security perimeters was immediately established around this place to stop people from moving and trading. However, the petty traders who were in this locality had to move to their present location under the railway line.
They have asked us to come and stay here for a while because of the bomb that happened. But here, we are insecure because of the robbery and lack of street light.
The incident has implanted panic to the inhabitants of Douala, creating awareness to Cameroonians to be more vigilant and to reinforce security.
We talk education. National pedagogic inspectors in the German language are boosting up their capacities so as to upgrade the teaching of this subject in secondary school. This is in the course of a 3-day seminar organized by the Ministry of Secondary Education that kicked off yesterday in Yaoundé. Bango Francis reports.
It was under the theme The German Class in the Face of Challenges of Multiculturalism and Living Together that the 3-day national seminar of National Pedagogic Inspectors in German opened here at the Pedagogic Action Support Unit in Yaoundé. The seminar, jointly organized by the Ministry of Secondary Education and the German Goethe Institute, aims at redefining strategies for an effective pedagogic intervention in the ranks of teachers in relation with manuals, classwork, and evaluations following the competence-based approach. In her opening speech, Dr. Catherine Awunja, Inspector General of Education at BINISEC, explained that the theme of this seminar ties with the context lived in certain regions of our country and put forward the importance of valorizing diverse cultural existence as an element of togetherness. The opening ceremony saw the presence of representatives from the German embassy in the country who revealed that Cameroon holds the world record of most learners of the German language per its population, over 200,000 to be specific. According to the organizers of this seminar, a decline in the teaching standards of German language teachers was not the raison d'etre of the joining because the level in the country is very appreciative.
I think it's very important to do vocational training all the time with the teachers in order to get them on an experienced level. I think that the teachers here are well trained. I mean, the teachers who come from the ENS, they are well-trained teachers, and since a lot of time we do vocational training, or we offer vocational training for German teachers all over the country. Yeah, I think the niveau or the level is quite high. We have a network with the German Teachers Associations. We have a network with the ministry. We have a network with the students. So we work together with all the levels.
By the end of this seminar, among other items to be validated, shall be the collection of necessary data for the upgrading of the German program in the second cycle.
Over in the East region, vigilante committee members of Nkum, Wama and Dume in that part of the country have been enjoined to work in synergy with the authorities so as to maintain peace and order in the area. The call came from the senior divisional officer for Dume while installing the members and recognizing their effort. Williams Amo.
These vigilance committee members of Nkum, Wama and Dume in the East region have been publicly given the right to work hand in glove with competent authorities to put out any condition of harm in that area while installing them to function legally. Henceforth, the senior divisional officer for Dume reminded them that they have a huge task to meet up with the challenge which has been publicly assigned to them. With joy and satisfaction, they seem to be more than aware of their functions.
Nous allons toujours travailler pour le village et nous demandons pour le village. On a la volonté de travailler, nous sommes toujours là pour travailler.
Demands from the state could not be sidelined.
Pour nous, c'est autant mieux d'avoir le matériel de travail que vraiment nous demandons, et si on aurait vraiment des appuis pour nous, on serait du tout fiers.
The senior divisional officer worked with a list of members presented by the village chiefs.
Avec l'appui des chefs, nous avons eu la liste des comités de vigilance.
The day's exercise was iced with this good-natured atmosphere.
It is with this report from the East region, ladies and gentlemen, that we come to the end of this edition of the news. Programs continue here at the DBS television. The news comes up in less than an hour in the French language. God bless your day.